By the end of this video, I'm planning on riding this around the car park of this industrial estate that I'm on. Now, before I can do that, I need to run it up to temperature, which involves draining the coolant out and making sure the thermostat works and things like that, make sure the radiator fan comes on. This currently doesn't have any brake calipers on it, you might notice there. So I need to refurbish the brakes, get them back on the bike, and also the clutch is completely dead, so I need to drain and put some new clutch fluid in there. So I do have a rebuild kit for the master cylinder and the slave cylinder of the clutch. I'm kind of hoping not to have to do that in this video. I just want to get it running. Purely for entertainment purposes, I'm going to get this barn find, which was sat in a barn for 8 years and then outside for a further 8 years. I'm planning on just getting it, doing the bare minimum and taking it to its first MOT in 16 years. Purely to see what else it could possibly need to get back on the road legally, and for entertainment purposes to see what's the bare minimum you need to do to a bike to get it road legal, where in actual fact it's not, strictly speaking, going to be safe to be on the road. So I got the bike and these were already disconnected from the, they're not shocks, are they? Fork, from the front forks. Because obviously the brakes were seized. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of penetrant around there so I can undo that and get the caliper out of the way. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is easier when it's attached to the bike. If I can pull these pins out, then I should be able to remove the pads, and then I can put the caliper back onto the shock, the fork, sorry. Then I should be able to get enough leverage on that to undo it. Okay, that's the new plan. So to get these pins out, which are incredibly rusty, I don't know where I've put my WD-40. I think it's around the other side. Spray some in there, and there's 2 R clips in the pins. You'll see them when I pull them out in a sec. There's one. So they're called R clips because they're shaped like an R. Funny that. With a spot of luck, these will now come out. Wow. Not normally that easy on a newer bike. Okay, yeah, that's what I was expecting. Oh no, run out. Come on, just a little bit. Ooh, just a little bit. Come on. Ready? Mole grips. Okay, let's try these bad boys. See if they can. Tappy tappy. Yes. Right. Let's solve that problem. Sweet. And then the pads should just come out. And then I can bolt that back to there. See? Not just a pretty face, eh? Now we can get 12mm on there and undo that. Sweet. Ready? Yeah, I didn't think there'd be any. Brilliant. Okay. Right, so now I can undo these bolts anyway. Again. Ding ding ding. And right, the caliper's off. So now I can go refurbish that on the bench. Here's a top tip to stop that from dribbling everywhere. Put a glove around it. While I'm at it, I might as well take the back one off while I'm at it. Wait, that doesn't make... While I'm at it, I might as well take the back one off before I run out of light. I don't know if you noticed, but it's getting darker. Bingo. Got it. Cool, and there we go. There's the rear caliper. It's quite different to the front one. Oh, this is only a 2-pot, so you've got 1 pot either side pressing the pads in. Oh, there's not much life left in them anyway. Can you see? Oh, have I just dribbled loads of brake fluid everywhere? Probably. Oh well. No, that's not. That doesn't go in there. It goes in there. Right. So if I'm planning on riding this bike around the car park, I need a way of making it stop. Here are the 3 calipers. As you can see, they are in extremely poor condition, and they need a bit of a spruce up. Now, I don't have any replacement pads, so I'm going to have to use these pads for the purpose of riding it around the car park. Now, like I said, this is not going to be going anywhere near road speeds. The MOT centre is 20 miles an hour and about 50 yards away from this unit, so don't panic. I won't be going on the road until I put fresh pads in. Now, I've left these soaking in WD-40 penetrant. I got myself some more stuff. I really like this stuff. It's really good. So I've left them soaking in that, and now I'm going to attempt to undo these valves. And given the fact this won't have been touched for 16 years at least, I'm not even going to attempt to put a spanner on there. I'm going mole grips straight away. Last thing I want to do is snap one of these nipples. I didn't enjoy drilling out the broken one in the GPZ, and I won't enjoy drilling this one out if I break it. Well, that one came off quite easily. What about the other one? Okay. Oh gosh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes! Happy days. No snapped nipples. Now I do have caliper rebuild kits with new nipplies in, so I will put new nipplies in there. Let's take this bolt out. This is where the caliper mounts to the bike, and then this bolt is the one where the brake fluid goes into the caliper. Oh, what was that? Oh, of course it has a copper ring seal on it. I think I've got a new copper ring seal. So, okay, so next we need to spill brake fluid everywhere, of course. Alright, I'm going to deal with that. Every time I do calipers, I just get absolutely covered in brake fluid. Gloves. I'm going to put some gloves on. Brake fluid is not supposed to look like that. Right, going back to this, let's pop this plastic cover off. Try anyway. Ah, there we go. Oh, that's a dead thing. Now we need to pull these R clips out. No, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Play the guitar on the MTV. Tappy tappy. Put that over there. Is that symmetrical? No, it's not. So take note of that. Goes in there like that, and I'll probably have to watch this video back to make sure I put it back in the right way. Loads of life left on that. I'm joking. Don't take me so seriously, people. This one appears to be stuck to the back of the piston, or the front of the piston. Yeah. Let me get that off then. Brute force and ignorance. Right. Let's see how we get on with 6 bar of pressure. Now what I'm going to do is just put that between the pistons just to stop them from smashing into each other if this does work. Where's the hole? There we go. Okay. Downside is I can't see if the pistons are moving. Oh, they've definitely come out a bit. I wonder if I can work them backwards and forward, get some more penetrant in there. I think it's going to be a case of working them in and out a couple of times until they come out. Now, hopefully undo these 2 bolts and I'll be able to somehow pull them out. So I'll undo those. You might have noticed I took my gloves off again. I'm so bad with gloves. Okie doke. Oh, I've actually got an idea. If I push one of them back in, yeah, put it back together and then put the compressed air in, they'll both go out at the same time, but one will be further out. Okay, this is using my genius. So I'm going to go push that back in with the vise and then leave that one as it is. Okay, I've just realised that's obviously not going to work. It'll work for one caliper, but getting the second one out will be then impossible. So I guess I'm going to have to try and, I don't know, I'm going to get some insulation tape and wrap up these to make them less diggy, because obviously I don't want to damage these. I mean, I should really replace these pistons, but I don't have any at the minute. I'll get some, but not right now. Okay, insulation tape applied, and that one is out. This one, however, I think is going to be a little bit more defiant. Woohoo! And minimal damage. Cool. I know I'll get new pistons, but for the purposes of just getting this caliper working again. Okay, I'm going to clean these up and then put new seals in and get them back together and then back on the bike, and then we will have rear brake. Whoop whoop! In theory. So we just pick out the old O-rings with a simple pick tool, being careful not to scratch the sealing surface. There we go. Okay, there's some gunk in there, but no girt scratches. That's cleaned up best I can get it. The pistons are absolutely shot, but I'm going to pop them in anyway for the purposes of getting this running and going around the car park. So, oh, there's a little bit of a nick there. I'm just going to sort that out before I put it back together. So, seals in, bit of brake fluid around them to loosen them up a little bit, push the pistons in, put the calipers back together half and half, and then hopefully we can pop it back on the bike and bleed it. Bit of dot 4 brake and clutch fluid. I'm just going to pour a little bit in the lid so I can dip my fingers in and run it around the edges and stuff like. New seal kit. So just put a bit of dot fluid, bit of brake fluid around there, and then I can pop the seal in the caliper like that. See, easy as pie. Same with the other one, same with the other side. Then we'll put the pistons in. Yes, I know, I should have gloves on. Hopefully that will go in there quite nicely. Lovely. Look at that. See? Do the other one and then put the 2 halves back together. Like so, not forgetting to put these flat seals back in. Else, well, it will just leak, won't it? 1 bolt in there and then 1 bolt in there. Assembly is reversal of removal, so do that, get the pads in, put the, not forgetting the little spring clip thing and the R clips, and then jobs are good. Like so. Now don't forget, I will buy some new brake pads, but for now I'm just popping those in. I've put the pins in, don't forget the R clips and this anti-vibration springy thing. And then the cover can go back on, like so. Not forgetting to put, obviously, the bleed nipples back in. Now there's 2 on the brake caliper because it sits vertically like that. So you'd have 2 points where air will need to escape. Whereas on the front calipers, because they're like that, you'd only need 1 on one side. And these come with nice new rubber caps. Looking good. Okay, let's bolt this to the bike and bleed all the air out of it. I'm going to try and do this without a tripod. Okay, helps if we put it on the right way around. Okay, chuck that on there, and then that can go on there. Now looking at it, it's going to be much easier to reattach the brake hose before I bolt this to the bike. So I'm going to do that. Ta-da! Okay, bleeding time. There's probably a good order to do these in. Right, so the fluid comes in here. Let's stop it from coming out here first and then out there. That might be the wrong way around. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, and I will do it different next time. Now before we complete this, I need to get access to the rear brake reservoir, which is behind here. So I need to pop this panel off. There's a screw there, and then it just pulls off. The wires for the indicator should just, yeah, they just disconnect. One of them's not connected. There we go. Now that's connected, disconnected. Okay, let's do that. Take that screw out and then pull that off. Like so. And here it is. That's not a very good design, is it? How are you supposed to get the lid out? Is it supposed to be tucked in there like that? Or am I just being a moron? How weird. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to undo that screw so I can pull it out. Ugh. Well, that was easier said than done. There's a captive nut. It's too light to see. Can you see there? That nut goes in that hole, and I basically just had to spin it really, really fast to try and melt that plastic so I could actually release that. Oh, ow, that's hot. And I have just noticed it says use only .3, and I've got .4. I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference, but I will get some .3 for next time when I do this job properly. I don't have an easy, well, it's called an easy bleed kit, and I don't have one. I could go get one, but I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. So undo nipple, apply pressure, do nipple back up, release pressure, and then you just keep doing that until you've got all the air out. I will show you the bubbles coming out. See that cinematographic. Okay, now you're just focusing on the foot peg. This is going to be very difficult because I've got to hold the phone between my legs. Right, lock the focus. Ready? So, undo, apply pressure, do up. Release pressure. Undo, apply pressure, do up, release pressure. Okay, and I'm going to keep doing that until all the air bubbles come out on this side, and then I'll have to do the same with the other side, as in that nipple there. Keep topping this up because I'm going to run out of fluid. As you can see, it's on the lower limit at the minute. Right, that's all that's all bled, fluid topped up, and now let's see if it's binding. So hopefully we should just be able to roll the bike backwards, and it rolls, and the rear brake stops the rear wheel. Ooh, feels pretty free, and I've got nothing to sit on here. Okay, rear brake. Oh my gosh, I did it! I did a thing! Aww, I'm happy with that. Okay, cool. We are one step forward, and okay, this foot peg is broken and very sharp. One step forward, and no, that's it. There's no steps backward, just one step forward. Now, obviously, bikes are supposed to have front brakes and back brakes. However, we only need the back brake to be able to slow the bike down and stop it for now. So I'm going to crack on and do the water, get the engine running, and see if we can get it up to temperature. Then maybe I'll do the front calipers, but maybe I won't, and then we'll just ride around the car park. Okay, so inside the radiator, the water actually looks pretty good. Hold on, there you go. Well, it's green, which means it's had antifreeze in, which also means, hopefully, it won't be too corroded in there, because this stuff, well, antifreeze and deionized water, is supposed to protect things from corroding too badly. So let's drain it out and see what it looks like. I'm going to pop off this main hose, which, unlike the GPZ, actually feels like rubber. Do you remember? They were all crusty and crispy. If you've seen those videos. If you haven't, check them out on my channel. GPZ 900R barn find. So I'm going to pop that Jubilee clip off, probably snapping it, and then the water will come out of here. So it will come out of the water pump and the radiator. I've left the cap off so that it gravity feeds down and doesn't create a vacuum. Ready? And wow, just like the Incredible Hulk had an accident. Oh, I was going to say, what was that fell out, but that fell off. That actually looks really clean. Okay, I'm quite pleased. I mean, there's no massive chunks of stuff. I'll flush it through with a hose, I think. See if we can get the dregs of any rubbish out that might be in there. And then hopefully just top it up and it will all be good. Right, I can't press stop on the camera. Stop. No, that doesn't work. Got the kettle and I'm just gonna run the water in there. Oh no. Well, some of that didn't go on the floor. Great. Never mind. Coolant hasn't leaked out of anywhere over the last 16 years. So that's a win. So hopefully we'll just top this back up with coolant and it will be fine and not leak. Hopefully. Now it's all flushed out, I'm going to pop the hose back on there and fill it up and clean up this mess that I've made. We're going from green to orange now. Yummy. Well, it's kind of pink. Orangey pink. Orange in the light, pink. Uh-oh. I can hear it coming out the bottom. Oh. Oh, no, it didn't come out the bottom. I just got a bit happy with the pouring. Right, much easier to do this with two hands because the other hand is holding the camera. Right, I'm going to do this and then we're going to have a look at the clutch bleeding, which hopefully will be just as easy as bleeding that rear caliper. So this is the original battery and I've had it on charge for a while. It's showing 12.4 volts, so I've switched this off now, but this is incredibly hot. Ow, as in I can't keep my hand on there. I don't think that's a good thing at all, so I'm going to buy a new battery. As you can see, there's lots of bubbling going on in there. I don't think it's supposed to get that hot. So exactly the same premise for the clutch as the rear brakes. Now, that was surprisingly easy. Cool, no need for the mole grips. So let's see if there's anything, actually any fluid in there first. Going back to this, you know I said the brake, it says use only, well it actually says use only .3 on there for the clutch. And same on the rear brake. And this .4, I've just noticed it actually complies to .3 standard there, so win, no need to worry about that. So, undo it, squeeze the clutch, do it back up, release the clutch, undo it, squeeze the clutch, do it back up, open it, undo it, squeeze the clutch, no, nothing. Right, so we might have to rebuild the master cylinder. Those screws don't look like they're going to want to come out, do they? Oh no. Let's try my pound through JIS screwdriver. Okay, numero uno, win. Yes. Okay, no one was expecting that. Oh wow. No wonder no fluid came out. Check this out. There's nothing in it apart from a bit of crystals. I'm rich, I've got crystals. So the cover and rubber are kind of crispy. I'm going to clean this up, clean up in there best I can. Pour some fluid in and actually see where we're at, because it might just be a case that it's just dry. We'll see. Right, leave it with me. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I've cleaned that seal up best I can. Now, it was actually pinched, so whoever put it together last had not lined it up properly, and that was stuck to that. I've managed to unstick it, and you can see there's a little bit of damage, but it hasn't broken through it. Or has it? Hold on. Okay, I've just held that up to the light, and it's okay. And the lid, I've cleaned that also best I can. I could probably do a better job with that, but for the purposes of this, I mean, I'm going to have to overhaul this whole clutch system anyway, but hopefully this will be good enough just to get us running. I don't have a rear paddock stand, so I'm going to have to try and just carefully lean that up against that wall, because that's the only way you can kind of fill this tank up. Because when it's on the side stand, well, you can see the hole that the brake fluid needs to get to would end up being way too high, and brake fluid will pour out of this before going in that hole. So, okay, so let's get some brake fluid in there, start squeezing this and undoing this and draining clutch fluid. Well, draining air out of clutch. And hopefully, I won't have to strip the master and slave cylinders. I mean, if I do, I do. If I don't, it'll save us a bit of time. Okay, clutch fluid in. Squeeze that, and that should pump some clutch fluid down that hole. I think. Right, now I need to probably undo that. Oh, I've done it wrong, haven't I? I needed to undo that and then squeeze the thing. Right, okay, I'm going to do this. Right, hold on, I'll set you up somewhere. You good there? Undo, squeeze, do back up. Undo, squeeze, do back up. Yeah, I've sucked the fluid back out of there. I'm going to have to take the master cylinder off and have a look at it. I think I probably have to take the slave cylinder off as well, but all that is just a pusher, so I can't see that causing any dramas, whereas this obviously isn't working. To get this off, there's just a clamp there with 2 Allen keys in, and I need to obviously disconnect the clutch line and the switch that tells the ignition whether I'm pulling the clutch lever in or not. So I'll do that and then we'll get it on the bench. Right, clutch lever off is a bit of a pain because I had to undo the 2 screws holding the switchgear on as well to loosen that, because this little guy is hooked underneath it and there just wasn't quite enough wiggle room to get it out without taking it off. Anyway, so now it looks like underneath this is the switch that tells the ignition that the clutch lever is being pulled, so I'm going to pop that off, and then this bolt here needs to come off to get the lever off. And at this moment I can't see any more screws that I could possibly undo to take out or take this apart. So I'm going to undo those and then we'll see where we're at. The lever out of the way, I can see in here there's a spring, very rusty looking spring, and can you see that? The light's not very good. There's a rubber grommet-y, gasket-y thing in there that's seen many better days, so I will think that just pulls out and then maybe reveals something holding in the rest of it. I don't know, hold on. I've sprayed some penetrating fluid in there. I've got a theory that that pulls out, so I'm going to try and pull it out. Right, ignore that. I've had a look at the rebuild kit. Look, this has a big thread on it, so I think it unscrews. There's the rubber grommet thing that's torn, so I don't need to worry about destroying that completely to get it out. Okay, rubber grommet destroyed. Now in there, let me go outside. Maybe you can see there is a circlip at the bottom, albeit a rather crusty looking circlip. You can just about see the eyes of it.
if the camera will focus on. Can you see the two eyes of the circlip, and then the nose, and then it's got a mouth? Yee, smiley. There we go, one rusty circlip, and now it should pull out. Let's have a look then. This has got a rusty thing and a screwy thing and a seal that probably doesn't seal anymore and a rubber grommet that's destroyed. And the new kit has all those bits and pieces apart from the shaft by the looks of things, so I'm going to have to reuse this bit, annoyingly. Why would it not just give me a whole new thing? Oh well, is what it is. Okay, crack on, do that, rebuild this. I think, oh, that probably, does that just slide off the outside of that? Probably not. Nope. Alright, I'll figure this out. And then, yep. Oh, and inside is a spring with another seal on it. So, in the kit, I've gone for a Tormax kit. They're really good aftermarket kits. And we do have a new circlip. We have a new circlip, a new spring, a new button seal, a new round seal, a new screw thread thing, a little spring, a washer, and that destroyed rubber grommet. So, let's try and strip off the bits and pieces from this and put them on there. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I'm not really sure how on earth I'm supposed to stretch this over to get it onto that. I guess I just have to try and brute force and ignorance to do that. But what I'm not sure about is this bit in the end, how it comes out. I'm going to maybe assume it unscrews, but I don't want to damage it, so I'm going to try and put some mole grips on that bit and then just see if it unturns. Oh, actually, I can look in here, can't I? Oh, there's no thread in there. Oh, it just pulls out. Okay, so I need to get some penetrating fluid in there and give it a good tug. Mole grips on one end, pliers on other end. Ta-da! That was easier than I thought it was going to be. Ugh. Gross. Right, clean this up with some Scotch-Brite and then put it in that one. I'm having too much fun here. I've managed to get the rubber seal thing on there. It was a bit of a challenge, but I used this behind it and then kind of ran it around this thread to get it on there. Now you've got to make sure it does go on that way. I copied the old one, so see, it's directional. So that's on there. Now this little guy goes in first. So, wait, that's the old one. This little guy goes in first. Now, I've got a little bit of rubber grease. You will just want a tiny little bit on there. That's probably a bit too much. It's only so that it goes down the shaft. Wipe my fingers off of that. And then we pop that in there. No, not like that. Spring first. Spring first, seal second. Now I've cleaned out the hole with some cleaner stuff. There we go, that goes in there. This goes in second. That away. Don't know if you can really see what I'm doing. Sorry, I don't have my tripod with me. Right, then I think it was this washer. Push that on there. There we go. Then the circlip, which is there. Now I'm going to get that in. Then the rubber grommet goes around the shaft thing, I believe. I'm pretty sure it goes on there. So I'm going to put a little bit of, get a little bit of rubber grease, try and manipulate that in there. There we go. That's how it was. Cool. And then that just goes on there after we've got the circlip in. Cool. I think actually maybe, did that go in there? No, that went on there. Okay, cool, now I'm happy. Let's get this back together. There we go. That wasn't so bad actually. it was a bit tricky getting the circlip in because you have to apply pressure to the plunger at the same time, and the rubber grommet I had to push down from the outside diameter, but it's all in there and it's all good. I'm going to put the lever back on and then probably try and get some fluid pumped through and coming out of this hole before I put it back on the bike, just to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to put my finger over this hole. There's brake fluid in the top. I'm going to squeeze the lever and you'll see bubbles coming out. Actually, no, you won't, because you can't see what I'm doing. One sec. Right, I'll put you up there. In there, brake fluid. So, thumb over hole, squeeze lever, bubbles come out, finger out of hole, and then until I don't get any more bubbles and brake fluid starts coming out the hole that my thumb is covering. Brake fluid, oh no. Okay, I am running out of time and I'm running out of light. I just wanted to quickly show you that I decided to pop off the slave cylinder as well. There was no point in me doing the master without doing the slave. It would be nice to have a complete new clutch line, but I don't have one. So this came off the bike really easily, 3 bolts. Obviously this bit was already loose, so we'll take that off. I've got a seal kit for it, so that comes off, I think. Well, it looks like a brake caliper kind of thing, so I'm going to blast some air in it. I'll actually pop that back in, blast some air in it, get the piston to come out, and then hopefully it'll be that easy. We can change the seals. Let's get some penetrating fluid in there to make our lives a little bit easier, hopefully. Snip that closed, airline ready. Right, that is wedged solid. Right, I'm going to turn the compressor on, get some more pressure. Okay, we're now at 6 bar of pressure. Jesus. That made me jump. That shot across the room. Right, I'll go get it. Okay, so as you saw, this flew out and I found this on the floor. I think it's part of it. Now, hopefully there's nothing else missing. Where's the seal kit? Here we have the seal kit. So we've got that spring and there's 3 shaft seals. Now I can see one there, one there, one in there? No. Right, so I might be missing a bit. I'll go have another rummage on the floor. Rip that seal off, as in the one at the front. This one. Now I'm just kind of doing the same with this one. God. It's just difficult to get off. Hopefully the new one won't be too difficult to get on. Okay, that's 2 seals. So where's this third one then? That's, well, you can see it in the packet, it's smaller. I'm wondering if it went in there. I've looked in the service book and this shaft seal that's come with this kit doesn't exist. It's not in the technical drawings, so not worried about that. But I now know how to put this back together, so I'm going to do that. I'm running out of light, so I'm just going to do it real quick off camera and then get it back on the bike, and then hopefully we can get some bleeding action happening. There we go, back together, and that is what it's supposed to do. Cool. Okay, this is where we're at. I have now reattached and reassembled the clutch and bled it. Now, it was a bit of a nightmare. I would have loved to have recorded it, because it involved me sucking up through through a tube connected to the slave cylinder, but unfortunately I didn't bring my phone charger, and the only one I've got is a wireless charger that's plugged into my cigarette lighter in the car, so I had to leave the car running with the phone on charge whilst I was doing that. Anyway, I think we're ready, so I'm going to fire the bike up, see if it runs to temperature, and then maybe just take it, even if it doesn't get to temperature, let's just take it round the block. Well, as in round the industrial units. Okay, as you can see, the sun is setting on this beautiful day. I have fitted the battery. I've cable tied a fuel tank to the wing mirror, which I'm not going to need. I haven't started this since I started it in the last video, which was about a month ago I recorded that. No, maybe 3 weeks ago I recorded it. So I've charged the battery up. Let's just see if it starts. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's pull the choke out. Choke all the way and hit the button. Ready! Well, that was expected. Okay, jump pack. 1 sec. Jump pack connected. Let's see. Now, let's put it on jump mode. Now I think we get about 90 seconds of... Yep, let's give it a go. Now we have to wait 3 minutes. Okay, I've had to resort to Jag power. So back on the battery from the Jag, jumping to the bike because that jump start is absolute rubbish. Let's see what happens now. Oh, that's better. Okay, cool. Right, let's get the seat on. Oh, I forgot. We need to run up to temperature, don't we? Pop the choke in. Oh, that's running sweet as. And the water is pumping around. Awesome. I need to stop the water up because obviously now it's pumping it around, it's used a little bit. So I'll do that, get the seat on, and then we're off. I'm going for it. Woo! Oh no. So the clutch needs bleeding a bit more. Take 2, but I don't think there's a clutch. No, I've got no clutch. As you can see, it is now pitch black. It's about 11:30 at night, and I think I've managed to do the clutch. Now basically what's happened is I disassembled that master cylinder and I put it back together exactly how it was, because that's generally the way I do things and that's generally okay. I didn't realise it had been put back together in the past incorrectly, which meant it wasn't bleeding properly. So you squeeze the handlebar, squeeze the clutch in, open the bleed nipple, the fluid would come out, and then when you release the clutch it was creating a vacuum, so it wouldn't actually allow me to pump it a second time. So it took me a while to figure it out. I looked at the diagrams and I managed to get it to a point where it feels like it is acting like a clutch. So I know it's dark, but I did promise I was going to ride this bike. So let's see if I can fire it up again and just move it with the throttle accelerator twisty thing. I'm tired. Thundercat to the rescue this time. I thought it was Thunderbirds to the rescue. Oh well, this is Thundercat to the rescue. Oh, I'm obviously not connected very well. These jump leads are rubbish. Oh, it's been a while. Let's give it some choke. Oh, okay. Bang, ba bang, ba bang, ba bang, bang, bang. Here goes nothing. Come on. Whoa.
Hey,